everybody. Welcome to the Marvel Watch Along for What If, Episode 1. Not Loki.
Not
What
Loki.
We are so excited for you guys to be joining us. I cannot wait for What If. I think this is my most anticipated show, and I know that we say that pretty much every single show, but this one is it for me. How about you, Richard?
This has been up there for me, actually, pretty much since it got announced, 2 years ago. I'm a sucker for animation stuff. I'm sure you and I are close to the same age. We grew up on the Disney animated stuff when we were kids, and I love pretty much anything animation related. So, forgive me if I sound a little sleep deprived. I totally am, but I'm here.
Everyone's sleep deprived. That's like the standard.
Oh yeah, exactly. But no, this one is gonna be awesome. We got a awesome animation look to it. It looks visually really cool. It's tackling stuff from the Infinity Saga, but with a twist, and I'm really excited for it. I can't wait.
Very unique looking animation style. It's not one where you can really point to a specific past style as an influence. So it's very cool. I'm very excited for it. We know that this is going to be multiple seasons, which is very cool. And during the press conference, it was teased that Captain Carter is going to show up in every season. So that's a nice little through line that'll be fun. We've had a lot of it. I think a couple months ago now that were about What If. So I'm very excited to see this show and really get to see like how these play into the larger story of each episode. So that should be very fun. I think it was revealed through the D23 magazine a few months ago at this point that the first episode is going to be Captain Carter.
Yep.
And Richard, you wrote up a little something about the Captain Carter episode, right?
Yeah, a little bit. Now, from what I remember from the exclusive, I know it was a while ago, but basically it's that the main story is that Peggy Carter steps in for Steve due to some kind of injury. Now, we don't know if this injury is going to happen during the episode, before it, or what, but pretty much she's forced to step in for Steve to do Project Rebirth as they did in Captain America, the First Avenger. And that's what leads her to becoming Captain Carter. And what I'm really curious about with this episode in particular, I know we're getting a bunch of crazier stuff later. We've got T'Challa, Star-Lord, Doctor Strange, Supreme, evil Doctor Strange, stuff like that. I'm wondering,
Marvel zombies.
Marvel zombies, exactly. I'm wondering if is it going to be like a straightforward kind of adaptation of Captain America, the First Avenger, but with Peggy in Steve's place? Or how much are they going to change in that story now that, because once you have Peggy becoming Captain America, basically, there's open doors for anything to happen, really, just because that one instance happened differently than it did in the Prime MCU timeline.
As is the concept of the show.
Yeah,
so, exactly. No, I'm really excited. I can't wait for all the episodes. There are going to be 9 instead of the original 10, I believe, because of COVID. Which I can't wait for that not to affect things. That'll be such a nice change of pace. I don't know why you just showed me a 3, Shay.
Yeah. Well, to be safe. I know we've got some people in the chat. We got Krishna in there. We got Donnie as always.
Hey guys.
Yeah, what's up? I'm gonna check and see if the episode is up. Maybe that's what Shay was talking about. We've got Shay producing for us as always. Yep.
2 to 3 years.
Okay. All right. And we do have the first episode up already. It is confirmed. It's called "What If Captain Carter Were the First Avenger." When Steve Rogers is seriously injured, Peggy Carter becomes the world's first super soldier, which, not shocking. That's pretty much what we expected. The thumbnail.
We have the confirmation in the description, so good job.
Yep, here we go. So, we got the thumbnail of the Hydra Stomper with Peggy flying on the back of it. Can't wait to see that in action.
That's so funny to me that they're like, not only does Steve get like a giant Iron Man suit, we put a little, like, what looks like handlebar so that Peggy can ride on the back. That's freaking hilarious. I love
Right?
that so much.
That's pretty great. And another thing I'm curious about is like, I mean, we know Steve and Peggy are the MCU's pretty much OG couple, timeline wise, they're one of my favorites.
They're
I'm curious to
so
see,
adorable.
no, agreed. And I'm curious to see like what the kind of dynamic is going to be between them now that they've switched roles. I mean, I'm sure they're going to end up being together somehow, some way, because that's how they're meant to be. But now that Peggy's the super soldier instead of Steve.
I mean, Steve always liked her as a badass, and she always liked him as the scrawny kid from Brooklyn. So I
Brooklyn,
don't
yeah.
think it'll be a problem.
Yeah.
I got
Oh
it.
no, I'm not saying it'll be a problem. I'm just curious to see, how the dynamic changes between them now that they've kind of switched roles.
Totally, totally. And man, I'm so excited. I'd say we just get into it.
Right? I know I'm gonna see if we've got anybody in the chat asking anything. But here, Krishna, it's like Big Hero 6 riding on the back of a huge machine.
Yeah, you are totally right. I didn't even think about that. I hope that is where they got the inspiration for that, because that's freaking hilarious. Well done.
Yeah. Side note on that movie, that took me way too long to see. I saw Big Hero 6 probably within the last like year or two as I was catching up on all the movies I hadn't seen.
Oh
So
my
good.
God, Richard.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one of my favorites. Remember that for a moment in time when we thought Big Hero 6 was going to join the MCU for like a day?
Vaguely. I mean, Stan Lee is in it. That's really the connective tissue.
Right, exactly. Now, I remember I wrote up an article saying that there was this rumor. I can't remember who it was from,
Oh,
that
live action, right?
something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the weirdest crossover I think I'd ever heard of in my whole time doing any of this.
I don't know, man. We got Crocodile Loki and Throg in live action, so
Right?
I I don't know. I don't know if Big Hero 6 would be super weird.
Alligator Loki for life.
I love the horns. And I
uh,
love that I will say, I would love that he ate President Loki's hand. That was freaking hilarious.
that was probably my favorite part of that whole episode.
Yep. Okay.
Oh man.
Well, let's get into what if so that we can talk about connective tissue with all the other MCU stuff and rumors and what we think of the episode. I cannot wait.
Oh
I'm
yeah, it
hoping
looks like this one's about just under 34 minutes. Kind of reminiscent of the WandaVision days a little bit. Haven't had a episode this short in a
or
while.
if you've been watching the Star Wars watch along, it's like Bad Batch.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right. You want to do the countdown, Richard?
Sure thing. 2 seconds. I'm getting us out of our ears. That'd be really annoying. All right, everybody ready to go?
Yep.
All right, let's do it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Let's see how they have adjusted the Marvel opener.
Ah, yeah, we've got the classic theme music, so that's weirdly enough not as often as we would have expected for an episodic MCU realms worth of stories, but
I think we'll get it the most in this one.
yeah, considering it's Infinity Saga stuff, probably.
And maybe Hawkeye, I guess. Well, still this one, because this one's more episodes than Hawkeye.
Whoa, okay.
Ooh, I like it.
Nice, very cool.
It's a good way to bring in the animation. I dig it.
Looks comic booky.
Yeah.
Also, Jeffrey Wright is going to be awesome in this. Okay, we got Dominic Cooper back. Bradley. Wasn't Ross Marquand Red Skull in Infinity War and Endgame after Hugo Weaving didn't want to do it anymore?
Probably. I don't know. Red Skull always is freaky to me.
Yeah.
Look at this. They're like little spoilers in the shards.
How long till we have that analyzed and dissected, like frame by frame? I gave it till
20
the morning.
minutes. Yeah.
Till the morning tops.
Someone's going to do that instead of watching the episode right away.
Oh, God, absolutely.
I love this concept so much.
Also, were there like Infinity Stone colored stars possibly in the sky?
Oh, probably.
That looks cool.
He's so small.
He's small.
Ooh, I like this.
Okay. That's how it actually happened.
I like that it was just like it looked like a poster.
Yeah, kind of.
It looked very comic book. It's a very interesting style of animation because it does look very, the movement and like the eyes look very real.
Wow, okay.
That's our nexus point.
Just heard not going into the booth, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't look like any Tommy Lee Jones in this.
Well, he wasn't he in the booth?
He was, yeah.
So my guess is we just haven't seen him yet. Oh, look at that. She sees the bomb.
Oh, man. Okay.
And the
Explosion
bomber was not in the booth. He did it earlier. There's
He
Tommy Lee Jones.
He didn't bomb it until after. Whoa, okay. Well, there's the injury.
Poor Steve. All right.
Yeah, because he didn't bomb it until after Steve had become Cap.
Yeah. Okay, so she's already a little more effective there because she stopped him from escaping.
Yeah. On the button sky.
Oh, I love Howard Stark.
Yeah, I can't really go anywhere. I've been shot.
Right? Like, someone needs to apply pressure to his wounds.
Right?
For real.
He's what, 5'4", 90 pounds or something?
Watch her wake up and he's like not there anymore.
At least unconscious. Okay. Okay, the animation is super cool.
I like the colors behind it. I mean, the animation style is really smart because it looks like a comic book.
Yeah. Like a combo of comic book and real life, kind of.
Yeah. All right, badass Peggy. Didn't even scream where Steve did.
Right? Like, I got this.
I see you. Dang. Okay, so they lowered her voice too. Cool. Yeah, that was Tommy Lee Jones that we saw get shot.
Ouch. Wow. What a dick.
Dick. I like the effect when she's punching.
Yeah, yeah.
Dang. Dang, Peggy.
That looked like at least 30 of those. Oh, there
They
we
just
go.
called out Captain America. Well done.
They did.
I love it.
How many times do you think that's going to happen the rest of the series?
I feel like it's every episode.
Probably something like that. You know, he's yep,
Aw.
still classic. You know, I wonder if they did like facial capture for them doing the lines or anything for the animation.
I think if they'd done that, they would have used them for the like voiceover.
Right. Because I know Haley Atwell's in it. We know Chris Evans isn't in it. So
Right. They might have looked at the actual movie for that type of thing.
actually, yeah, they probably could have done that.
Has the Tesseract timeline confused you? Because it's confused me a little bit.
Like within the MCU?
Yeah.
At times, I think, yeah. Because this is the first canonical place where it showed up.
Right, but yeah, so I think they got their hands on it for Project Pegasus in the 90s, but
Right.
didn't
Yeah.
like Thor and them have it in the present day as well? I don't know. It just confused me
So
a little bit.
so it goes from here to Captain Marvel to the end of Thor to the Avengers.
Right, but how did they get it in Avengers if it was in Thor?
Well, that
Wasn't
was
it
just
Thor?
it was just the post credit scene
Right.
with Fury and
Oh my
Selvig.
god, I freaking love Howard Stark. Shows up out of nowhere.
Right. Like, hey.
He's so cheesy.
Seriously. No, let's go sell some more Bond's costume.
All right, he picked the shield. That's different.
Right? No vibranium explanation.
Well, because last time he gave Steve a choice between like 3 other shields, and Steve liked the round one.
Yeah, he picked out the vibranium one.
Here's what's his name?
Oh,
Zola.
yep. Nice. Nice.
Superhero landing.
Yeah, it's really hard on your knees. Totally impractical. They all do it.
Dang. Okay.
Hi.
That'd be me. That'd be me as a superhero. That was epic.
Like, holy shit. Nice.
Who are you talking to? Is she talking to the Germans? Are you seeing this?
She's taking out like 30 guys.
Dang. Oh, here's the big guy.
Yeesh. That's a broken leg.
Dang, Peggy. Hi, Zola. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. They have the Tesseract.
See the 50 guys I just beat the crap out of outside.
She got the Tesseract and Zola on her first mission, so already.
Which technically wasn't even a mission. It was just her going after the Germans.
Right, but so already not only has Captain Carter on the American side changed, the German side has changed as well now.
Yeah. Oh. Ah.
Aw.
Okay, the colors in this are really cool.
This is nice. Can I have that? Bam.
I'll take that. Nice motorcycle punch.
Wow. That's like Steve Rogers in the Avengers level crazy.
Right?
She just
Well, he was.
kicked a motorcycle into the guard tower.
Ha.
Yeah, Bucky, let's be snarky.
Right?
They
Oh,
took Zola.
he was already being tortured in a Winter Soldier stuff at this point. So
Except he isn't, because they took Zola.
right, yeah. They got to him early.
No Zola means no torture for Bucky.
Maybe no Winter Soldier stuff. We'll see.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't like that.
That was weird. That's weirded me out since this clip first came out.
Yeah. I
All
feel
right,
like
who
they
shot
tried
me?
to like lower her voice and just did not mix it right.
Like he sounds. Sebastian Stan sounds fine, right?
Mhm. Peggy has for most of it. There's just random moments.
Yeah, like 90% of it, she sounds fine.
Yeah, like that. I think like Haley Atwell is probably speaking a little lower in her damn.
Okay.
Like she's
Yeah.
probably speaking a little lower in her chest, but
Well, plus also, it's been what 10 years since this movie came out. So
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised though if they had her lower her voice a little bit because she is physically bigger. Look at that. Supportive Steve. Oh man,
gonna
be more
mon-
comic book right now.
gonna montage our way through World War II.
I mean, we did that in the live action too.
Yeah, exactly. Some things never change.
It works though. I think you have to do that with these kinds of shows when they're only 30 minutes.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Hello from Brooklyn. Yeah, Steve.
Yeah.
Man, this animation is great.
This is some of the coolest animation stuff, like technicality wise, I think I've ever seen. Because there's not like one thing that you can really compare it to that it looks just like, right?
Okay, this is nuts.
Oh damn! One
This
question:
is like
will they have
Ahsoka.
anybody? Will they have anybody get chopped up by an airplane propeller this time?
That would have been great. That
That
was
was
like
brutal.
Ahsoka during the like Siege on Mandalore start,
I
right?
think so.
All right.
New champion, who dis?
Dang, dude.
Okay.
His eyes looked really blue.
They do. You don't have one of those, do you?
Ooh, I like that.
That was cool.
Oh yeah, that was. I like seeing it in the pupil, but yeah, that's such a great line.
That was great. I love that
Can you
whole scene.
imagine if Steve went, yeah?
Yep.
Hold on.
You know, I like that he sounds enough like Evans to make it
It's
kind of
not.
track, but
It's not enough that it pulls you out.
exactly.
Yeah, which is exactly what I need. I don't need it to be identical because it is a different universe, but it's
Yeah.
enough that it does not pull me out of it, so I'm good.
Yeah. And there's so many of them coming back that a couple different ones doesn't really matter.
I'm not shocked about the ones that didn't come back too.
Oh, me neither. Me neither. Like I wasn't expecting Downey. I wasn't expecting Evans.
They're so awkward. I feel like we're getting a little bit of a look at like what it would have been like if we got to see Steve go back for Peggy. Oh my god.
Oh God. Damn it, Howard. Then go away.
That was perfect. That was like a 40s sitcom right there. That was amazing.
Right?
He disappears. Poof. Hi guys.
That.
This is the first Iron Man suit too.
Yeah. Where
So weird
Eagles.
name.
Yeah. Lull.
There's another call out.
Yeah, it's funny because he's the winter soldier.
Well, not anymore, it seems like.
Well,
Uh-oh.
wasn't there? Oh shit. Oh,
Steve.
that's not good.
I like the snow. Aw. Yo, shut up, dude. Have they like not visited him? Do you think she kind of like tortured him a little bit?
I would assume that would be the case. Yeah.
Cool. Very different super soldier.
I see what you did there.
Nice. He is, because he kind of sucks.
At least Phillips was entertaining.
I mean, Phillips not liking Steve wasn't super surprising.
Well, yeah. You bring a
But
90-pound asthmatic on my army base.
yeah. I mean, the thing we always forget about Steve, he had like 12 different conditions.
Oh, at least.
Wow, that was really sad punch.
That was really, yeah.
That it was like looked like a chipmunk or a squirrel. He looked like a squirrel. Look at her. Yeah, that's Steve's girlfriend. You are both so dramatic.
Yeah.
I do love that her fighting technique, it's more brutal.
Yeah.
But the style is almost reminiscent of Avengers Steve, as well as like World War II Steve.
Well, she's already had like some physical training, and she's been able to do the physical stuff for way longer than Steve had. So it's just that
I
times
mean, like,
about 100.
I mean, like the dramatic silliness of being like, that was amazing. Oh, I love that she just kicked him as he was falling.
That was great.
I mean, like the riding the motorcycle through a fence and then kicking it through a guard tower. That's like Avengers Steve.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so we never saw Red Skull actually use the Tesseract in the movie.
Just to power the weapons, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Tesseract didn't actually really Tesseract until
Avengers.
Avengers.
All right, so there's a portal to something.
Okay.
Something bad.
Yeah, I'd assume that to be the case. Oh shoot!
Hey.
Nice. So it's indestructible.
Maybe he's not dead.
Hope not.
Oh my god. That's Steve.
God.
That's
yeah, that's
Steve.
We need a plan of attack. I have a plan. Attack.
It's like when they get the
what the
Shumagarath, right? It's gotta
There's no way they're introducing Shuma frickin' Garath.
Yeah, they are. Come on. That's Shumagarath. Yeah, it is. Look at that thing.
Holy crap.
Everyone watching, in the comments, say if you think it is Shumagarath, and if you don't think it's Shumagarath, say who you think it is.
Okay, he's dead. He's super dead.
Yeah, Peg.
You think? Oh, he's not dead.
Suit without a power source? So is everything you've done.
Well, yeah.
This doesn't seem that crazy.
Wow.
I love Steve. You okay? Yep.
I'm good.
Yep.
Holy crap.
That's Shumagarath. What else could that be? Look at that thing.
Yeah, how many giant green octopuses are in Marvel?
And that's all, like, Shumagarath is all about Devour, you know?
And multiverse, right?
Yep.
I know he's supposed to be in Multiverse of Madness, but wow. Ay.
Ooh, a sword.
Yep.
Hedy Lamarr is a badass. She's an actual real life scientist and actress. It's basically thanks to her that we have like Wi-Fi. Because she invented, I think, a radar system like back in the day. Or sonar system? I don't know.
Ay. Really?
Good job, Bucky.
You're choosing now to quip?
It's Bucky.
Grouse.
Oh, dang. Okay.
I just got some Pirates of the Caribbean flashbacks there. Not so bad.
Oh my god, that thing busted through the ceiling. What was Red Skull's plan here?
Right? Because there's no way he could have known that that was going to be on the other end.
I think he did.
Oh, crap.
That's not very helpful.
Nope.
Here's our sacrifice moment.
Oh.
Oh no.
Oh. She left Steve behind.
Yep. With the Tesseract.
Jeez.
So he probably starts Hydra, or not Hydra, I'm sorry, Shield with Howard.
Maybe, yeah. Oh, shoot. Avengers?
Looks like it.
Whoa. Tentacly.
Yep.
Please put down the spear. Oh, jeez.
They didn't say that.
All right.
Ooh, we're getting the art. I love when we get the concept art. Like, we got
That's
that all
cool.
the time in Mandalorian. Love it.
Nice. That looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, unless there's any more, I mean, that was a solid first episode.
I like it. I thought it
Me
was
too.
good.
It was a good, easy start.
Yeah, not too crazy.
Yeah. Like it got everybody introduced to the concept and, open to what could happen. And nothing too crazy yet.
I'm looking. Yeah, it doesn't look like there's any post-credit scene, so I think we're good.
Cool. Yep, there we go.
All right. So, first episode of What If. I like it. I give it 2 thumbs up. I thought it was solid.
Agreed. Definitely a good one. I mean, it's funny. It's a lot of what we expected. I mean, obviously Peggy becoming Cap and the Hydra Stomper and everything, but there was some fun stuff that we didn't see coming in there too. I mean, especially the whole Shuma Garaf thing.
There was a tease of that in the trailer.
Right.
I think if they hadn't included that in the trailer, that probably would have been a little bigger.
Yeah, no, I definitely agree because we just didn't know when it was going to come. We didn't know if it was going to be in that first episode or not. But
Yeah, I would not. I assumed it was gonna be later.
Me too. That's what I thought. But what's funny is now that Shuma McGrath is coming in Multiverse of Madness, I think it won't come as quite the shock to everybody now that he'll be coming in that movie.
I like that they didn't say what it was. I
Me
like that it
too.
was just, oh my god, what is this thing? And also, there's been rumors that we're gonna see Haley Atwell as Captain Carter in Multiverse of Madness, right?
Right,
So,
which totally connects now that this has happened.
right. So the question becomes, when she went into the Tesseract with Shuma Gorath, is that when Multiverse of Madness would have happened for her?
That's a good question. Does whatever happened in Multiverse of Madness for her happen between those two moments in What If, or is it after the show, or what?
Yeah. So I think that's set up really well. Like we both said. I mean, they introduced Schumer McGrath in the freaking pilot of What If. Like, go
Right?
big.
Go big or go home.
So I thought that was great. The dynamic between I love the dynamic between Peggy and Steve, but I also love Howard Stark in this. We
Me
got
too.
Howard Stark that's more ridiculous, which
It's
kudos
kind of
because
crazy to think about.
I did not think that would be possible.
Me too, because Dominic Cooper's Howard Stark is crazy enough in just in Captain America: The First Avenger when we saw him, but
Yeah. I love he just like bam on the window. Hey guy,
oh hey guys, how's it going?
are you on a date? What's going on?
Oh hey, well, what's going on?
Yep. He was
Pretty much
definitely
that.
he was definitely the Drax of that situation.
Oh God, exactly.
I'm invisible. You can't see me. I'm moving too slowly.
I've mastered the ability of standing so incredibly still that I become invisible to the naked eye.
Oh my god. Um, but no, I loved the call outs. We got to First Avenger. We got the whole Bucky, you almost tore my arm off. We got they could always send you on USO tour. I thought that was great on both sides of that,
That
right?
was great.
But yeah, I mean, I think what also was good about this because it was very much in the vein of First Avenger. It
Mhm,
wasn't like a totally different genre for this story, but it did also show one single choice really did make a huge impact. Not only because she became Captain Carter, but we
mhm.
didn't have Tommy Lee Jones' character there. We had a different character running it who didn't trust her in the way that
Right.
Tommy Lee Jones did. Because if Tommy Lee Jones had been there, I bet that would have been an entirely different dynamic between her and the brass.
I agree. Yeah, because he seemed to have her back to some degree, at least in the actual movie. And a quick side note too, they managed to tell basically the entire story of Captain America's First Avenger, which is a 2-hour movie, in
Yep.
a quarter of the time, which is pretty impressive.
I mean, I think getting rid of the USO stuff took a lot of time out of it.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And Steve's whole origin story, from before he
Mhm.
actually became Cap, because that was a solid half hour a movie that they just completely looked over.
Yeah. No, definitely. No, I agree. They told the really pertinent stuff in
Mhm,
half an hour, and I thought it worked. It didn't feel rushed. I liked the pacing. It was moving the whole time. You had action going. I
mhm.
loved like we said the entire time the animation was very cool, but I also loved at the beginning when they showed kind of the Steve Rogers Captain America. It felt like a poster.
Yeah,
I liked when she was doing like the little montage that it had that old school, like almost Batman TV show vibe of like you
yeah.
almost expected like kapow or bam or something when she was doing the punches.
Yeah, and I really like that. Like they were able to make this show look about as comic booky as possible without actually having the kapow, kablam,
Yeah.
all those exclamations in there when she was punching stuff. And like that's kind of what I was thinking Marvel might do, doing an animated show like this, and it really worked and it really turned out really good.
I mean, we know that animated comic book stuff works because like Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse, for example,
Yeah.
top 10 comic book movies in my opinion.
Oh yeah, that's one of my probably two or three favorite comic book movies ever, Into the Spider-Verse.
100%. And this had the same kind of like, okay, animation lets you do whatever. And animation totally makes sense for the show because you have like this Peggy Carter episode. We know we're getting the T'Challa Star-Lord episode, which is going to be more sci-fi. We're
Mhm.
going to get a Doctor Strange episode. So we're going to go into the magic. So that's just three different genres right there.
Yeah. And then I know we've been saying this a lot throughout this whole watch along and everything. Like the animation style, I just absolutely love that this is something new visually. Like we said, it's a combination of real life and classic animation that we've seen for years, but it's not like anything we've ever seen before. And I
Mhm.
heard something that it took them at least like a month or two per episode to complete the whole thing,
That
Or
makes sense.
yeah, and I could see why because it turned out really, really good.
Yeah, and it's not something where you can go, "Oh, that's like Batman the Animated Series," or, "Oh, that's
Into the
like
Spider
anime,"
Verse.
or any yeah, it's not something where it really seems specifically based off something, and I believe they talked a little bit about it in an interview with someone, I don't really remember, but I think it's also based off, like, art, like, some artist that I can't remember, so I think
Yeah,
that it really shows through and it makes it feel I mean, I almost think it's like comic book or concept art come to life.
yeah, like it's not Disney animated movies, it's
Mhm.
not anime, it's not Studio Ghibli, it's not, anything from Cartoon Network or Disney Channel or anything like that. This is something totally unique, and I love that the MCU was able to put their own spin on it with these characters that we know and love, sort of.
Yeah. And it's not like full on like animation for adults like Rick and Morty or anything, but
Yeah,
it's more mature than like Bad Batch even. It's got
yeah,
where you can tell this is for the MCU fans have been watching this for 10 years.
yeah, exactly. This is a young adult oriented show, and it's like geared toward the MCU fan base, especially the fan base that has grown up with this franchise over the last
Mhm.
13 years.
Yeah. So I thought like that's just our spiel on the animation. I'm sure we'll be doing this every week because, like we said,
Oh, I'm
it's
sure.
like it's gonna be a different genre every week.
Well, once we start going into space and everything and seeing how that'll, because this is literally just strictly Earth stuff. I mean, outside of the
Yeah,
giant
outside
green
Sugargrass.
octopus.
Yeah,
Yeah, outside of Shumagarath. Yeah.
not only Earth stuff. This is straight up. This is a World War II movie again.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'm even curious about what we're gonna get with like the more uh like current stuff going on in the MCU on Earth.
Yeah. Also, now we don't get Vormir Red Skull since he was kind of crushed into
Yeah.
dust.
Well, I mean, so they have the Tesseract. So like we were saying, so Tommy Lee Jones' character died. They got the Tesseract early.
Mhm.
They got Zola. So Bucky wasn't experimented on, and he didn't fall off the train. So no Winter Soldier, as far as we know.
Right. No Winter Soldier at all. So,
My guess is like they have Shield, so Steve probably started it with Howard instead of Peggy,
right.
which might mean a different Shield, and also maybe Hydra didn't infiltrate in the same way because they took out the Hydra leadership way quicker.
For sure. And Steve could, there's a question is if Steve's actually still even alive
Oh my God,
in
he had
the,
like 12 diseases. I would assume no.
I was going to say, I'd say 99% he passed away a good while before Peggy came back in the Avengers timeline because Peggy was in her 90s and she wasn't doing great and she was a pretty indecent health person.
Yeah, I
So,
mean, there was a reason Steve was not allowed in the army.
yeah,
If you remember, there was like 2 pages worth of things that were
yeah,
medical issues,
you'd be ineligible on your asthma alone.
right? So he's probably not alive, which is very, very sad.
That
Um,
sucks.
I will say, like, assuming we are getting Haley Atwell as Captain Carter in Doctor Strange 2, man, would it be cool to see Captain Carter and Steve Rogers Captain America meet?
Holy crap, that'd be
That
something.
that would have been awesome. That
Right?
that's I think that to me is one of the biggest bummers about Chris Evans basically retiring from that role. I'm like, oh, I want
Yeah.
to see this moment.
Yeah. And I think the biggest question too about Captain Carter is that we know she's going to be a key player in this season of What If and future seasons, but how big is her role actually going to be in Multiverse of Madness? Because that movie has Doctor Strange, Scarlet Witch, you've got America Chavez, um, and
I
like I'm,
mean, with the way that they set up her fighting Shuma-Gorath, I would almost expect it to be something where it's she knows what Shuma-Gorath is or something, or they see her fighting it when they're fighting it. Like, I don't think she's going to be a major character because, like you said, how is there room for that?
exactly.
But I could definitely see her almost having kind of a big key plot moment.
Yeah, like I mean, I'd be shocked if she's in the movie for more than 10, 15 minutes,
Yeah.
but she could have the key to how to stop him, maybe.
Yeah, like how to lock him back into where he's supposed to be.
Right.
That makes sense. That'd be cool. No, I agree. I don't think she would be. I don't think she'll be like a main character if she is going to be in it.
No, I agree. But way to bring Haley Atwell back into the MCU for at least some kind of role.
I love Peggy Carter. I'm so glad we're still getting Haley Atwell in the
Me too.
MCU, even if it is mostly voiceover stuff. I mean, I would love for her to come back in other live action stuff, but I'm good
Yeah,
with her being in voiceover. And I think it makes sense for her to be in multiple seasons because we saw, like with Steve, we saw the origin of her as a super soldier. There's still all the stuff that comes after her popping back out of the Tesseract that we have no idea.
absolutely. There's a whole timeline between her pushing Shuma Gorath in there and a bunch of tentacles coming out in the Avengers timeline.
Fury was probably like, I got like someone has to clean this up now. Come on.
Right?
Oh man. No, I loved it. It was like it's one very small thing because I think we assumed the injury was the change, right?
Yeah, no, and that's actually what kind of shocked me too. Like, we assumed that Steve's injury, which ended up just him getting shot, was going to be the key turning point where, Peggy had to step in and become Cap. It was from the moment she decided to stay in the room, which, I mean, definitely way less monumental of a moment you would think, but it
I
changed
think
everything.
I think all the moments are going to be like that. It's a very
Right.
like it is that thing of like nexus points are very small. I don't know if you watched the show Fringe, but it was very much that or Psych. Remember the episode where it's left turn right turn?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Right after Sean and Jules broke up. For
Yeah, so
any of you psych bands out there, we know what you're talking about.
but yeah, so it's that almost like you have like which direction do you go? You go this way? Okay, cool. You create a new that's a nexus point. You create a new
Yeah.
timeline.
For anybody who's watching who doesn't know what the hell we're talking about because there's two psych fans on the show, there's a moment when the two main characters break up, and the moment that changed everything in the next episode where they go down two different paths is the main character Sean putting his jacket on his then girlfriend Jules in order to keep her from getting cold at a wedding. And he changes it to the chief of police's pashmina, and then that changes everything in this alternate timeline where they're still together, and then Gus ends up getting an allergic reaction to food, and
And
Lassie
the
ends up getting a
dog.
dog.
I would like to before we get back to Marvel say, you remembered Pashmina?
it's
Wow.
a
All right.
it's a it's a weird word, and I love that show. I
I
want to
assumed
apologize for it.
I was gonna go with shawl, but Pashmina works. All right.
I love
Um
Psych, and I won't apologize for it.
but no, I think that all of these are going to be very small moments that have a very monumental change because that's more fun. I mean, if it's like
Yeah,
a huge change that changes everything, you're kind of like, well, duh. It'd be
yeah.
like, oh, the aliens won in Avengers. Yeah, of course that changed the world.
Well, yeah. The one that I'm really curious about is that people who got the pressers got to see the episode where T'Challa becomes Star Lord. I'm curious to see what leads Yondu to picking up T'Challa instead of Peter Quill. I know that's going to be sometime in the next couple episodes. We'll find that out. But I'm curious to see what that kind of Nexus event per se is.
I will reveal nothing
I figured.
other than
Yeah, no, because that's obviously a huge change. Yondu picking up, the Prince of Wakanda rather than, some kid from where's he from again? Missouri. Oh
something like that. Yeah.
yeah. I'm not from Earth. I'm from Missouri. Yet that's on Earth, dipshit.
Oh my God, Peter Quill's so dumb.
Oh God,
But
that
yeah.
whole scene in Infinity War was amazing.
Also, I mean, like, dude, Peggy Carter's super effective.
Oh yeah, and I mean that's not shocking. I think the only thing that shocked me was just how badass she was. Because like we knew she was going to be a kick-ass character because Peggy Carter becoming Captain America is bound to be pretty badass. But I mean she laid the smackdown on everybody.
Yeah. Well, also she grabbed the Tesseract and Zola in what I called her first mission, but like what you said, basically her trying out the suit and shield to see what happened.
Yeah.
Like,
Like that was within the first, what, 10 minutes of the episode, something like that.
right? Like that within itself literally changed everything. So yeah, Peggy Car. I mean, I almost want to say I think she's a little more effective than Steve. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. I love Steve as Captain America, but I feel like Captain Carter like was a little more kick ass.
And like, I guess that's to be expected a little bit because she's been in the army for, I'd assume, a few years at that point. She knew exactly who she
Yeah,
was as a leader, and I mean, maybe she wasn't the fighter exactly. I mean, she was, but she'd never had a
yeah,
chance to prove it. And put a little super soldier serum in her, and she kind of gets to unleash holy hell.
yeah. I mean, she was an agent with the SSR, the Scientific Strategic.
Strategic Scientific Reserve, yeah.
Yeah. And I think before that she was basically like MI6 or something, or MI5.
Yeah, something like that. I think that's what I remember. At least if you consider Agent Carter to be canon, and that's probably the one show, honestly, that could be regarded as canon anyway, because
Out
it's
of everyone, yeah.
yeah, absolutely,
At least the first season.
absolutely.
Yeah. So yeah, so I think that's very cool because we did see her. I will say, like, we did see her fight in Agent Carter too. So like, she was always a
Oh
skilled
yeah,
fighter. But you add that level of she's got the super strength and the freaking shield. Like, she's just
right,
bounced it off dudes' heads. Like, that's what I mean. Where
right.
I'm like, she's a little more brutal than Steve. I don't think we saw Steve bouncing the shield off people's heads immediately.
Yeah, well, because Steve, I mean, even before he got the serum, when he's talking to Erskine, he's saying, "I don't want to kill anybody. I don't like
Yeah,
bullies. I don't care where they're from." So Steve, I don't think was a natural like fighter. I mean, he did whatever he had to do to get the job done, but I think he and Peggy are cut from a little bit different of a cloth, if you want to say. I mean, they're both heroes in their own right, but I think Peggy maybe didn't have as much. She wasn't as hesitant to, have to lay a smackdown on somebody to get the job done, maybe as Steve would have been.
yeah. You know what? I'm gonna bring it back to Falcon Winter Soldier because I feel like that's the perfect show to analyze with this in First Avenger. Peggy she's not like crazy US agent level where it's someone that is very
Right.
much, it looks like, suffering from PTSD and stuff, but she is, I would say she's almost limit more similar to like if Bucky pre Winter Soldier had gotten the shield.
I could see that. Yeah, that's not a bad analogy.
Like someone who was always, they were always going to be in it. Like Bucky didn't, I don't believe enlisted. I think he was drafted, but she
Right.
very much was someone who joined up essentially by her own choice and trained. So her
Yeah.
being more brutal and more vicious and even a bit more strategically sound, sans the whole I don't need a strategy, I have a shield. All right, got a little cocky there, but
A little
uh
cocky there. Yeah.
right, but before that, like she was like, okay, this is where like the Tesseract is, this is where Zola is. Cool, I'm gonna attack them while they're in transit.
Mhm.
Super smart, super strategic, worked out
Yeah.
really well.
She's got a good brain for war.
Yeah. She's very much someone who is kind of built for it.
Yeah.
So I liked that she was a little bit more successful, I guess, in a way, because Steve was never, they didn't pick him because he was a good soldier. That was the entire point. They picked him
Uh
because he
huh.
was a good guy with a good heart, not because he was good at fighting or killing. So I think, and we always knew she
Exactly.
would be it, because I mean, I think one of the greatest parts of this, and it's in, if you watch the Marvel Legends Peggy Carter episode, one of the things that I've always loved, that I think this was the best, like one of the reasons I was so excited about this episode, was when they dropped the fake, like the dummy grenade, and Steve goes around it and tells everyone
Hmm.
back off. Peggy went for it.
She did. She was on her way to go for it.
Peggy immediately went for it too. So that within itself was proof of like she's got the right stuff for it too. And here we see that because she's not going for it for the glory. She's not like, I'm going
No.
to be the super soldier now. It's, we need someone to go in there. Steve can't, and like Stark won't because he's Stark.
But yeah, no, and that's the thing I love about this episode too, is it's two different paths to get to basically the same end goal for Steve and Peggy. Because
Mm-hmm.
I mean, both of them do an incredible job. They're both great heroes, and they know what it takes to get the job done. They're just different, and there's
Yeah.
nothing bad about that.
Yeah. I mean, it's one of the things I think I'm, excited about that we're going to be seeing more of Peggy Carter because I want to see her in the modern day. Like, A, what does her Avengers look like?
Oh yeah,
And B, what does her like legacy look like? And then what
yeah,
is her fighting technique? Because like we were saying, a lot of the like more kick-ass stuff of like, okay, dude, was very much Steve in like Avengers or even Age of Ultron. Like the whole using the motorcycle as a weapon, that's
yeah, or
straight
like
out of Age of Ultron.
Winter Soldier stuff too.
Yeah, like she's doing the stuff that it took Steve a while to get to.
Right.
So I thought that was very cool.
This is a good question from Krishna at the Illuminerdi. Do you think we're going to see old skinny Steve Rogers in later episodes, like how we see old Peggy in Captain America: Winter Soldier? That's you know what?
Would like to, but we both think he died.
Yeah, I would love that to happen, but he probably
Well,
did.
maybe modern medicine in this world is way better, so maybe he is alive.
There's a chance. I mean, I don't know.
2 pages of medical issues in the what?
1940s.
Yeah, that's not great indicator.
Yeah,
Uh, life of longevity in life, but who
yeah.
knows? Who knows? He was friends with Howard Stark, so
He was. Yeah, and Howard's still around and kicking, so
we're gonna say we hope so. I think that's the
I
best
would
for
love
that.
to see it happen. I'm gonna remain optimistic.
Yeah, we're both like Steve's dead.
He did.
Oh,
Oh
I'd
man.
love to see him alive. I'm curious too if like, because with Peggy, she had a whole life. She had a whole family. I mean, that was one of my issues with like what Steve did in Endgame. But
Right.
she had a whole life and family. So did Skinny Steve? Did he move on, or did he just was he forever sad, like bachelor slash widower?
I do wonder if we're gonna see that. Oh, another one from Krishna. I feel like we saw more Howard in this film than the first Captain America movie.
I agree.
I think he was more impactful for sure.
More personality, and I think part of the
Yeah,
reason for that is if you think about it, Howard Stark was friends with Peggy Carter. He was not friends with Steve Rogers first.
exactly. He had a relationship with her before they even met Steve. So
Yeah. And even when Steve was off doing the USO tours, Stark and Peggy Carter worked together a lot. They were friends. Like
uh-huh.
Steve got jealous of their friendship because he's a dum dum. But
For you two,
do you
fondue?
fondue? Like talking like that's such a weird way to ask that too. He's such a doofus.
Also,
I will
that
say he's way smoother in this than he was in Captain America.
oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, do you remember how freaking awkward he was in the car? He was
Uh,
awful.
Doy, yeah. That's
I don't
kind
know
of
what
one of
happened. Like he got gut shot and all of his mojo came in. He was like, I got gut
the.
shot. Now I know how to talk to girls. It's cool.
Like,
Like, what?
I survived a shot to the gut. I'm fine. Whatever happens, happens.
He also, you know what? Maybe he is alive. He got gut shot like 2 or 3 times. No one put pressure on it, and he's fine.
Maybe there is something in him. I don't know.
Like, he should have died.
He
So, you
probably
know what?
should have died. Yeah.
I changed my answer. Steve's immortal. There we go.
Serum or not.
Right? You just for like they're gonna be shocked. It's gonna be like, how are you the same age? I don't know, dude. Erskine did something. But no, I definitely feel like we got more of Howard Stark's, like you said, an impact, but also personality. I mean,
Oh yeah.
he's such a doofus. I love it. Like
Right.
it wasn't even the whole like I'm socially awkward because I'm smart. He's like a goofball.
Oh, absolutely.
I
Like
just love that.
he got to go a little Tony in this, if I'm saying that correctly.
A little Tony, but like less damaged.
Yeah, like a healthy mentally Tony.
Kinda, yeah.
A mentally stable, I guess.
Tony, who has a best friend who's a woman,
Right? Instead of Rhodey.
right? A little bit. No, I loved it. I love that we got the "You're lucky to be in the room." I thought that was a great line on both sides of it. I thought it worked
Agreed.
really well in both ways. I love that she got thrown back in his face, but I also thought it worked really well for just the realism of it because
Yeah.
yeah, They wouldn't have wanted her in the room for that. We saw her in the room for all of those. Again, it was what we were saying with Tommy Lee Jones' character. We saw her in the room for all those conversations in First Avenger.
Yeah.
Also, Tommy Lee Jones' character was there, and he's someone who trusted her since we saw them, you know?
Yeah, totally.
So I thought that was really well done. Yeah, I mean, I can't get over, like, she just freaking annihilated those Nazis. Which,
It's like, and I don't even look like she broke a sweat.
like, the four of them hit the wall and fall, and she still kicks one of them against the wall again. You're like,
now you're just showing off.
that was so unnecessary, but so amazing. I love it.
You know, it makes sense that she's a little extra like that.
Yeah, Steve was too.
Yeah, I think you inject anybody with some super soldier serum and they're going to be a little extra.
I feel like if you're jumping through planes and doing the shield through tanks and all, like bouncing it off people, like
Right.
that's when you get the whole, I don't need a plan, I have a shield. And you're like, maybe a plan would help. The plan's helpful too, buddy. Like, I feel like, so yeah, I'm not shocked she got a little extra, because I think Steve got a little extra when he started using like the shield after a while. I feel like
Yeah.
Black Widow was Steve's Howard Stark at that moment of, that's not a plan. You need a plan.
Oh man, that was great.
Man, Schumacher Wrath, man, in the first episode.
Holy crap! Yeah, what the hell else are we gonna get in the next 8?
Yeah, I mean, so we know we're getting T'Challa, Star-Lord. We know we're getting zombies, which I'm really interested, because based on only the trailers, it doesn't look like the traditional Marvel zombies. It looks way more like zombie movie zombies. So that should be really interesting.
Because the only thing we've gotten from
I was just gonna say, Marvel zombies get super dark.
Yeah, because the only like tease we've gotten from Marvel zombies at this point was that kind of freaky scene from Spider-Man Far From Home with Mysterio, where he was just messing with Spidey, and we got, you know, zombie Tony and the graves for Black Widow and Tony and Steve and everything. But
oh my God, accurate.
Right.
Mysterio can tell the future.
God, Mysterio.
We sadly did not get really any Bucky Steve banter.
No, only for like a second, but not really that much.
Yeah, I mean, it was like, we only really got it when it was Steve basically being like, nope, charge the suit, it'll be fine. So I will say that was one of the things I did miss a little bit, because one of my favorite things, I love that relationship, and one of the things that's great of when they're going on the train is like, this is you getting revenge for when I made you ride the, what was it, Tilt-A-Whirl on Coney Island and you threw up. And he's like, no.
Remember when I made you ride the Cyclone at Coney Island? Yeah, and I threw up. This isn't payback, is it? Now, why would I do that?
Right? Like, we didn't get that level of stuff, which is a little bit of a bummer. I would have liked to see that a little bit, but I get it. That was not the point of the episode.
Yeah, I could have focused on Peggy rather than Steve, and, you know, Bucky's Steve's friend, not Peggy's.
Right. I mean, I thought that they did play it well, where I liked that the Howling Commandos were still there. It's one of the things that I would love to see a show of, like, the MCU timeline of the Howling Commandos with Peggy.
I agree. That could be a really good Disney Plus show.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. And we'd also be able to get, like, a lot of cool stuff with that in really unexpected ways. So yeah, Krishna says Bucky slipping on the train and immediately he landed was a nice touch. Yep, I love the call out. I hope we get call outs the entire freaking series. It's half the fun.
I'm betting at least one an episode.
Right? Like, we have to. That's half the fun, is like so many call outs. I'm so curious about the T'Challa Star-Lord. Are we gonna get call outs for Black Panther and Guardians of the Galaxy?
Right? Exactly.
We gotta, right?
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, no, this was a really good episode to start on. I think it was great for newer fans that maybe don't know all, because that's the other thing. I mean, this is like the show that if you haven't seen all the MCU movies, is going to be the toughest to break into.
Absolutely.
And I think this was a good episode for that, because you really only needed to watch one.
Yeah, and it's the first one chronologically within the MCU itself. So that really helps on that front too.
Yeah, so I think this was a really good episode to start with because Peggy Carter is going to be important for the series,
Mhm.
for like Marvel Comics fans and fans that pay attention to rumors and news and exclusives and all that. We got Shumagorath, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Um, for newer fans, it's something that's based off more of a single movie concept instead of like really high concept craziness, which I'm sure they're going to get into.
Yeah.
And then for fans like you and I, it's really fun getting to see these like what changes and the twists and how it affects the story. Because like you said, they basically did first Avengers, but it was Captain Carter instead of Captain America.
Yeah. And like, there really wasn't, I mean, yes, Shumagorath is very, 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 very different from what happened in Captain America: The First Avenger. Understood. But the core of the story was probably about 80 to 90% the same as how it happened in The First Avenger with Steve.
Yeah,
So, and I mean, obviously that's not going to be the case for all of them because it can't be when you've got T'Challa as Star Lord and stuff like that. But
zombies and evil
yeah,
Doctor Strange and Party
exactly.
Thor.
Yeah, Party Thor. That's the one I can't wait to see. Like, what the hell does Party Thor do?
Just dances. Just like club dance the entire episode.
Oh God.
Yep, that's exactly it. Shay's doing the dance. Perfect. But
uh,
no, I think this is a really good episode to start on. I know from like reactions on social media, it was not necessarily everyone's favorite episode because they get bigger.
well,
But
yeah,
I,
but that
I
that
think
happens
it's
with every
smart.
every show.
Yeah, I think it's smart to start with a smaller one. And personally, out of I think all the show's first episodes, this is my favorite.
You know what? I can't argue there. And you know what's funny is thinking about it, I don't know where else they might have started with a series like this. I mean, you could have gone straight from the beginning of the MCU with Tony, you know, right when Tony becomes Iron Man or something, or you could go another movie in
Right.
phase one. But
We saw the
I
trailer. This was phase one. We saw the
oh yeah, yeah,
trailer.
for sure.
In the second trailer, we saw it's the Killmonger Tony episode. So they could have done that, but again, it's two movies.
Yeah, exactly. It plus it's the first movie of the MCU combined with what, the 18th. So like
Yeah.
I think this was a perfect middle ground because it's a phase one movie. It's the beginning of the MCU chronologically. It sets up a character that's going to be really important in this series and potentially the live action sphere too. So I think they picked a good option to start with.
Yeah. And I mean, like I said, like don't get me wrong, WandaVision is probably my second favorite. But WandaVision's first episode is like it's a straight up what 50s sitcom. Like they
Yeah,
didn't even have really anything that
it's
tied
the Dick
into the
it's the Dick Van Dyke Show meets Marvel.
yeah, which was fun, but not crazy like anything huge. Falcon Winter Soldier, I think that was one of the slower pacing ones.
Yeah, you didn't even have Bucky and Sam meeting at all until
Right.
episode two.
And then Loki, you had the funniness of what we called the DMV times 10. Like,
Which is
you
amazing. I love that.
yeah, that was great. And you had like some really solid, like really good scenes, like when Loki is really like seeing his life and you get that character development that you get from what 3 films in like 5 minutes.
Yeah,
So
that was
don't get me
great.
wrong, yeah, like Loki's first episode, strong episode for Loki, but I just think this is better because I like that these stories, at least as far as we can tell from this episode, is it tells the whole story.
Yeah, exactly. You get, and plus too, with it being so short and them still being able to tell a full story with it. I mean, that's just super impressive to me. Like I'd say in terms of ranking them, I'd say this is number one, probably WandaVision's number two, then Loki, then Falcon. And but I just love that they were able to tell a full and complete story with this one, even with it being kind of a look back at Captain America: The First Avenger in only half an hour with all these new takes and still have it make sense.
I mean, I think the fact that it was essentially you're watching First Avenger in 30 minutes makes it maybe even more impressive because my
Oh
guess
yeah,
is they're not all going to be like you're not going to get you're watching Iron Man in 30 minutes but it's a little different and you're watching like Guardians in 30 minutes but it's a little different. I'm betting they're all going to be just different stories. So the fact that this was no, you're getting First Avenger but it's different in 30 minutes. Like you said, very impressive. They picked out what was needed, and it worked. I was not going, well, I didn't understand this, or I felt like they left this out. I think they nailed what they needed to do with it.
Absolutely, yeah. Because I just looked it up. First Avenger is 124 minutes long, so 2 hours and 4 minutes, and they were able to tell that whole story in literally a quarter of the time.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
It's like you
damn
said,
good job.
they cut the USO, they cut the origin, they cut. I think they cut a lot of the Red Skull stuff and the
Yeah,
Zola
they did.
stuff.
Yeah, well, all the stuff where he was experimenting with the Tesseract.
Right, because he didn't have it. 'Cause
Yeah,
Peggy's awesome.
they cut out the whole scene with Tommy Lee Jones and Zola, which is one of my favorite scenes the whole MCU.
Yeah, I mean, I would have. Don't get me wrong, I really liked how they did this episode. I think it would have been cool to see Tommy Lee Jones in it.
Yeah, I wish.
I think it's Tommy Lee Jones, but also
Yeah.
I get why they didn't do it because she needed to have someone that she's really butting heads with, and I don't think that would have really been the case with him.
He wouldn't have been as much of an antagonist as the guy that they actually had in there.
Which was like Bradley Whitford, and he did awesome.
Yeah, I mean, he was great. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just more us missing Tommy Lee Jones than anything.
Yeah, totally. I 100% agree with you.
Doctor, do you realize how difficult it is to get a prop cut like that out here?
The worst, but awesome. Love it.
Oh, God.
And I mean, the other thing too, like, this is really the first major ramifications of Loki that we're seeing. And you know what? I'm really glad Sylvie freaking ruined the timeline. This is awesome. Thank you, Sylvie.
Well, in what universe was Sylvie not gonna ruin the timeline? Let's just put it out there.
Krishna said that he's interested in knowing what is the what if for Loki. Well, we saw in the trailers that it looks like Loki is gonna be having some kind of like army, right?
Yeah, it looked like he was maybe like with the Asgardian army or something.
So maybe like I'm guessing something with Party Thor is gonna be Loki related because if you got Party Thor just like doing whatever he wants, then I'm guessing Loki is gonna take advantage of it.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing something like that. I think Loki deserves a win. He got told in Loki the entire show, your purpose is to be a loser, basically.
Man, he really got the smackdown in Loki emotionally.
Right? It's like I have glorious purpose. You really don't.
Nah.
Very sad that you think that. And he's just like, what?
Yeah. That sucks for him.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the what if for Loki would be other than you're not a loser.
Right? King of Asgard, something.
Maybe fall in love with someone that's not your
not
chick
himself.
Doppelganger. Man, if you want to see our reactions to that, go back and look because they were not great. I like sunk in my chair.
If anybody's seen the Honest trailer for it that just released today, they make fun of that the whole time.
They should, as they should.
Right.
That was like, Loki was not my favorite. We got your ranking. I think mine is What If, WandaVision, Falcon Winter Soldier, and then Loki.
Okay. Yeah, and I was doing it for in terms of first episodes, but
yeah.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I'd agree with you. I mean, Loki might even be kind of even with WandaVision because I like that classic comedy, sitcom stuff. But
that's what I was thinking too. I'd say I was debating in my head as I was saying it. Maybe it's even like a tie between WandaVision and Loki.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll hold off my rankings for the rest of the series until I actually see the rest of What If. But this one's definitely high up for me already.
Yeah, and I mean conceptually, I like that we're getting different stories every week because, like we said, they're able to tell a complete story in one episode, but instead of having the cliffhanger of what's going to happen with the characters next to the cliffhanger of, oh my God, what if is it next?
Right, exactly. Like, because we know some of the episodes that are coming, but we don't know when, and we don't know how they're going to play into the rest of the series.
Yeah, because I mean, there's got to be a bigger story, right? This
Oh,
isn't
absolutely.
just yeah,
Yeah, it's got to have some kind of overarching narrative.
yeah. Hey JD.
What's up, JD? Um, but yeah, no, I can't wait for the rest of the series. Honestly, like this is what I've been excited for since the beginning, and yeah, this is gonna be a fun one.
Oh, and before we finish up, how awesome was Jeffrey Wright as the Watcher?
Hell yeah, and he's already becoming like the next comic book movie master with this and the Batman coming up.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
mean, it was totally that Twilight Zone feel,
Oh,
which
absolutely.
great. I loved at the end where he's like, "I must not interfere," because we're like, "You're gonna interfere. We all know you're gonna interfere. Come on."
God,
That'd be
come
like
on.
that'd be like us watching, like it'd be like, "I can't interfere,"
Yeah. Oh,
but like
okay.
Black Widow
Sure, Watcher.
lives. It totally like we would totally interfere with all of this.
Yeah, doy.
Can you imagine if we were Watchers in like Thanos? We'd be like, "Nope."
Nope. Blah.
Right? So immediately just pluck him out of the timeline and toss him away, and everyone's like, "What happened?"
Okay, like okay, you're done.
So I mean, we know he's gonna do something. He's got it. He's the Watcher. That's what happens.
There's no way this show doesn't get crazy enough for him to not interfere.
Right?
Like they wouldn't have had him say, "I cannot, do not, and will not interfere." It, he's gonna interfere. It's gonna happen.
When do you think it'll happen? Do you think it'll be zombies?
Yeah, I'd say at least halfway through the season he'll try to keep up the whole "I'm not gonna interfere" thing. I don't know what's gonna lead him to do it, but it's gonna happen.
I will say for me, it'd be zombies. If I was watching this and zombies appeared, I'd be like, hell no. What?
Like, all right, I got to do something.
Right? Like this is not acceptable.
Right?
Um,
Like that's
and I
not
mean,
cool.
right? And based on the first trailer, it looks like this dark Doctor Strange is gonna be going up against someone who appears to be our MCU Doctor Strange.
Yeah, we definitely saw two Doctor Stranges going against each other, so that's
So
going to be pretty nuts.
yeah, I mean that could be totally tied into Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. It could also be tied to the Watcher maybe messing around a little bit with stuff because
Yeah.
evil Doctor Strange, that might be what gets his attention. Because Doctor Strange, when he's not evil, is scary powerful. Doctor Strange, when he is evil, seems worse.
Yeah, evil Doctor Strange could legit tear the entire universe apart.
Right? So that might be the moment where he's like, I don't think this is great. Let's get another one of you in here to stop you.
Right?
Can you
Oh god.
imagine Doctor Strange is like going about his business and just ends up in a different timeline? He's like, the heck just happened?
You got to be shitting me.
You must fight yourself. Why?
he literally goes Steve from Endgame. Oh, you got to be shitting me.
He just nopes out of there. Bring me back. Not doing this. Got all this other crap I'm dealing with.
All right, I'm out.
He's gonna be like dealing with crazy Spider-Man things. He's gonna be dealing with crazy multiverse stuff, and then he's gonna get dropped into What If. And he's gonna be like, I don't have time, man. I don't have time.
Like, oh god, what now?
What now? That's exactly it. Perfect.
No, that's gonna be
now.
him by the time he shows up in his own sequel solo movie. Like, no, literally, I'm picturing him now. Wanda's gonna show up at the door of the Sanctum Sanctorum, and he's just gonna be like, "What do you want?" I think you might have frozen for a second. Once all these multiverse movies start actually coming out, oh man, just look out for the comedy over the next couple of years.
Right? I mean, I'm excited to see it really, because I mean, I think what's so cool is the Watchers are already established in the MCU from
Guardians too, yeah.
Guardians 2, right? Yeah. So
Yeah.
they did exist. So it just is that question of what were they watching? And it seemed like they were just watching the MCU as a whole, with
Right.
Stanley almost being as like some kind of spy, which I loved. That's amazing as a
Yeah.
concept for this cameo character. So now we get a Watcher that's actually doing what you're expected from the comics, where it's watching the multiverse. So I'm very excited to see, like, they have to address the fact that the multiverse either just got released or that has always been there and it just was disconnected in some way, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, they still have a lot of explaining in terms of like how the multiverse works and everything, because they just started setting it up really in Loki after just teases of it in other movies. But I mean, I thank God they've got what 3 or 4 movies that are gonna heavily use it over the next
Yeah,
couple of
because I
years.
mean, they're always really good explaining the rules to the larger sci-fi related concepts, right? That never goes poorly.
Nah.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe it'll go well with their
Yeah.
explanation of the multiverse. Maybe it won't. We'll see.
Yeah. Hey, I hope so. It'll be entertaining either way.
JD said the multiverse got me when I froze. Yes, it did.
Yep, that's what happened. We're gonna go with
The
that.
TVA came for me because I was mocking their skills.
God, what if the TVA actually is like? That's what's got me thinking. Like ever since Loki ended, like what would real world Nexus events look like? Like what would cause something so crazy that like you'd be taken out of the timeline and pruned?
Well, as you can tell, something super small, like staying in the room instead of going in the booth.
Yeah, there's that.
Like, that's the craziest part, is they are so small, the things
Right?
that
It could
really
be
cause
anything.
these. Yep. So,
Ugh,
no, I'm really excited. We got 8 more episodes of this. I
right?
am so excited because I think, like, don't get me wrong, I thought this was top notch. Other people may disagree. You are totally welcome to your own opinions. You're
I
wrong,
loved it.
but you're welcome to your own opinion.
we will
uh,
we will let you have your own opinions, except for the fact that you couldn't be wronger.
yeah, I like it. Yep. So no, I thought this is a great start. I cannot wait for
Yeah.
more.
Should I read that last comment from JD, or is that?
I think you should
Oh,
read Krishna's.
oh God. Okay, actually, that's a good one. I'm guessing in the Doctor Strange episode, Strange's gonna contact the Watcher. That could be. That actually could be interesting.
That opens up the possibility that Strange knows about the Watcher
Right? Totally.
and knows how to contact him.
Which I mean, if there's anybody that would know, it's him. But whew,
I like it. I like it.
I like it.
Ooh, I'm excited. I love this. I think personally, what I love the most about Loki is it set this up.
that they use Loki to set this show up.
Yep. My favorite part about it so far.
Oh my
I'm
God, that it's
sure
set up another show.
I'm sure I'll also love Loki because it set up movies. Come on, there's multiple reasons.
Well, whatever the case, I think we're in for a really good one with What If.
Yeah, we got 2 months of this now.
Right? Yeah, this is the most episodes we've had of any of these since WandaVision. So,
Yeah, it's the same amount too.
and we didn't get a double dose this time.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
cool.
The,
And we're
the
gonna have, while this is going, Shang-Chi's gonna come out.
Right. And the last thing I'm curious about before we sign off is, are the episodes going to get any longer as the series goes on? Because that's what happened with WandaVision. They started off being like,
Well,
20-ish minutes. The first 3 are all about half an hour from what I've
yeah,
heard. So
you've seen those from what you've heard. Oh, I thought you meant WandaVision.
well, I haven't seen the new ones yet.
I was like, for what you've heard, we watched WandaVision. What are you talking about? Our communication level is great, guys. Don't worry about it.
We're off to a flying start.
I would guess they're all going to be about the same. I mean, WandaVision, the reason it got longer is because it was supposed to be taking you out of the sitcom format.
Right, exactly. And then they've all been close to 6 hours in runtime, like when you add everything up. So
I think they're all supposed to be about the same amount of time total.
right, all about 6 hours.
So I think this is going to be half hour. I think She-Hulk is going to be half hour. Because it's a sitcom, but I also think that's like more episodes.
Yeah, we've
Uh,
heard it's that one's supposed to be about 10 episodes also.
yeah. Hawkeye's 6 because I think that's an hour-long show.
Right, which I mean, it's also Hawkeye, so it doesn't seem like that much of a shock.
I thought you could say it's Hawkeye. Who cares?
No, of course not. I'm excited for Hawkeye.
I'm excited for it too, but also it's Hawkeye. He's
Oh
just Hawkeye.
God. Yeah, I know.
I
Hey,
got arrows. There's aliens and robots. I don't know. It's all weird. None of
city's
those make
flying.
sense.
We're fighting an army of robots, and I have a bow and arrow. None of this makes sense.
Poor Hawkeye, man.
Man, yeah.
But no, so I'm gonna guess they're all gonna be about half hour. I mean, I feel like if they got longer over time, you would have this moment of does this story deserve more time than this story?
Yeah. The
And
only thing I'll say before we go is maybe they'll start getting longer when more characters start teaming up rather than them doing like individual stories, like a Captain Carter episode, a T'Challa Star-Lord episode. Maybe
yeah,
they'll get longer when they start teaming up.
trailer 2 did do that thing where it went from the MCU Avengers to what looked like the teased Guardians of the Multiverse with like
Yeah, with T'Challa and Gamora, daughter of Thanos, and yeah,
so if we have maybe a 40-minute episode for that, that would make sense to me. But the other piece of it too is
yeah,
like you said, it took them about a month per episode.
yeah, exactly.
That to me means they're going to be about the same amount of time because you don't go from spending a month on, let's say, 4 episodes that are half hour and then only a month on an episode that's an hour. That just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'd say if there's any longer ones, I'd say maybe like 45 minutes tops would
And it'd
be
be like episode 9, probably.
exactly. Like I'd say 7, 8, or 9, something like that.
Yeah. I could see that, especially if they're going to tie it into Multiverse of Madness or something like that.
Absolutely, for sure.
That's when it would make sense to me.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, what do you think out of 10? What would your 5 or what would you give this episode?
Oof, I'd say solid 9 out of 10.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
Little
not going to give it a 10 out of 10 yet because there's more to come.
exactly.
Yeah.
No
And
Tommy Lee Jones. So that was kind of a bummer, but
I will say I probably would give it a 10 out of 10 if they hadn't spoiled Shumagorath with a freaking trailer.
right, yeah, they could have maybe. I mean, it shocked me they came in episode 1, like I said earlier, but it probably would have come as more of a shock if it actually just come in the episode rather than the trailer.
Right? Like that seems like something you don't spoil in the trailer.
Yeah.
It seems kind of big, but whatever. So no, I agree. 9 out of 10. I thought this was super, not even just solid, like awesome start
Oh
to the
yeah,
series.
it was great.
Yeah, I can't wait for more. I think this is gonna be probably my favorite series. Just I love animation. I think this
Me too.
animation is very cool. I love the concept, and just from the first episode alone, you know that they get the concept and they're good at it.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I can't wait for more. I think this is gonna be my favorite show. You got anything else to add?
It's definitely already in the running for me for my favorite show. So can't wait for more.
All right. Well, please join us back here again next week for episode 2 of What
Should be
If.
more of us.
Yeah, it'll be me, Richard, TC, and Brax. They got eaten by Shumagrath this week, so we're gonna see if we can find them. Uh, if you are a Star Trek fan, we are going to be doing I believe, watch along for Lower Decks starting tomorrow, assuming everything works out. We're having a little bit of technical difficulties at the moment with that, but we're figuring it out. So we will keep you updated on that. If you are a Star Wars fan, we have the final episode of season 1 of The Bad Batch on Thursday. Great face, Jay. Totally excited, I can tell. So that is going to be the end of the 2-part finale that started last week. Very excited for that. I think it'll be me, JD, and I'm assuming Rob again. So that'll be fun. We have these Power Ranger shows. We got 4 of them. I'm never gonna learn these guys. It's just not gonna happen. I'm sorry.
We got a
Uh,
bunch of Power Ranger shows.
we
And
have 4 Power Ranger shows or Sentai shows if you're into those. So definitely check those out. We have the wrestling shows on Sunday. Is Rick and Morty still a thing?
I think I saw some of the season finales coming up, or maybe mid-season finales, something soon.
Keep an eye out for that. I
Yeah.
I don't watch Rick and Morty. Sorry. And then I think we start this whole thing over again next Tuesday with episode 2 of What If. Like I said, join us again here at 11:40-ish, and we will be talking about what happened in this episode. We'll get Brax and TC's opinions. We'll break down what we're excited for in the series, then everything from the next episode. So make sure you join us, and we got tons of content for you guys to watch. So thank you so much for joining us for the first episode of What If. We cannot wait for more. Bye, guys.
See you next week.